what I sense looking back at your achievement is you're someone who's done things on his own terms. You set out on your own. You started with the one ship. You built the company organically. Has that been the secret ingredient to sort of follow your own path? Has that been the key behind your success?
Yes, that's true. The philosophy in this company right from the beginning has been that we do things which we think is right way to do, and not copying others, not following, the pattern of other companies advertising in a big way and trying to develop business. Our philosophy right from day one has been to develop business organically based upon the customer satisfaction. That has been always the theme, the policy of this company. We initially we started to get ships from my previous contacts in Norway and Holland, and we developed that area very well. And then in initial 2 years later, after the company was set up, we started to explore the Japanese market. It was not easy, but we persevered on that. We visited Japan many, many times. Other companies like to have an agent in Japan. They will appoint a Japanese person to go and do marketing for them. We chose to do it ourselves. And none of us could speak any Japanese, but yet we thought that it is always better for us to go and have a direct contact with the owners rather than going through a broker. And that approach did bring good results. It was initially very difficult to get the clients, but once we got our first 1 or 2 clients, the rest was easy. And this is what we have seen, that in Japan it's very hard to break in with any owner. To start relationship is the biggest challenge. And once you are able to succeed, and if you are doing a good job, then it's for a long time. Relationships are a long time. And some of the companies initially we started to work in Japan. They are still our clients, 21, 22 years down the line. We still manage ships for them. And same is applied to also Norwegian and Dutch principals who initially supported us. We still manage ships for them, large number of ships actually. So the relationship is maintained.
When you reflect on your career, what has been perhaps the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge in the growth, especially when the growth is at such a fast pace, like last year we added 50 ships from the January 2017 until now, we have added 50 ships net increase, meaning we have added 70 ships and about 20 ships went out because of sale and purchase activity. So it's a huge churn to mobilize the manpower, both on the ships as well as ashore. That has been the biggest challenge at every stage. For ship management, the backbone of the ship management is the crew, and that is what you have to strengthen. You have to have training centers, you have to have training institutes, you should have your stream of constant inflow of the new blood, new talent, both in the office as well as on the ships. So that has been the biggest, I would say, hurdle in the growth.
When you sort of scroll forward and look ahead, and people talk about digitization, they talk about automation, how do you regard that? Is that fanciful? Is ship management sort of an unchanging industry when it comes down to its essence, or do you actually think that what people are talking about today will be part of the landscape tomorrow?
Well, good question. This is often referred. These days, everybody talks of big data, digitalization, and what I think is many people don't even understand what they're talking when they say that they'll do digitalization of the ship's operation and things like that. We at Fleet realized the importance of IT and importance of computerization way back. And in way back 2002, we launched our first version of computer-based reporting system, which we call PARIS. PARIS is a short form for the planning and reporting infrastructure for ships. So it's the full name, and the short form is PARIS. So that we launched in way back 2002, 15 years ago. And initially it was a very basic model, very basic information was available on that. But over the years, we added more and more modules. And the idea was always to try to create a virtual office, meaning to have on the computer available all the data which any owner or any superintendent would like to see. And so after adding all these modules, today our Paris system is very advanced. We have got actually everything which you would want to have on the computer, all the details, all the data about your crew, all the technical data, known positions coming from the ship, speed consumptions, PSC records, certificates and surveys, financial reporting, PMS system, inventory control, everything is there on it. And this is a system which is all developed in-house. We have not bought any off-the-shelf software. It is all developed in-house, and we are very proud of it. And we have many owners who have got ships with different managers, and they have always told us that our system is head and shoulder ahead of the rest. And so when it comes to digitalization, I think we know this better than anybody else. And the amount of data, the vast amount of data which we have in our system collected over the last 15 years, we have got all at our disposal. And now we have to see as to what is it that we want to analyze and what advantages can we get out of it. And in order to do that, we have actually recently hired talented people on board in our IT department, which is already something like 20 people work in our IT department. We have hired a new CTO, and we have hired a data scientist who is going to guide us as to, from all this data, how and which data should be analyzed and what advantages can be derived out of it. So this is what we think. Going forward, we are actually in the process of developing a module where we are going to tell the owners that what additional sensors have to be fitted on board the ship for measuring accurately the fuel consumption, the torsion meter for the power, for the draft measurement, for the speed measurement, and to analyze machinery parameters, taking the software from the engine builders, and then to get out of it the practical conclusions, practical inferences, which captain and the ship's superintendent can use for improving the performance.
And finally, Kishore, reference was made to you as a young man in your small town in India with his whole career and life ahead of him, and the fact that looking back, you had no regrets. What advice would you give to the young man today, whether he's in India or Italy or wherever he happens to be, considering his career? Would you counsel him to go into this industry, knowing what you know, knowing the direction? Would that be your advice?
Well, I think shipping is a extremely interesting and rewarding industry. It has got many aspects, and the young talented people there is plenty to offer. But the problem is these days the younger kids, they are more interested in the things like IT and finance because they are more glamorous. And to go on a ship, to work on a ship as a sailor, that is not a priority in spite of this offering a lot of career opportunities. They don't like to do that for the simple reason that they want to be connected, they want to be always ashore with their friends, and so this is the biggest challenge. And we see that more and more affluent countries, when the society becomes affluent, the interest of the people taking up sailing career diminishes. And we are seeing that now in India. The same thing is happening now. From the good families, the students, they don't want to go to shipping. And so this challenge is there. So for the young people, my advice is they should look at shipping as a serious option for their career path, because I think there is a lot of scope for growth and a future.